Hello everybody. I am creating this video so that I can teach you what muscle testing is and how to utilize it within your daily routine. Specifically, I am going to want you guys to muscle test around products that I recommend to you, because at the end of the day, while I am a professional and I have learned a lot about different supplements and different products that can help you, I want you to further confirm with your body that it's what you need via muscle testing. So in your supplement tracker, you will see where I list, here are supplements that I think could benefit you, but I do not want you to take those or spend the money on those supplements if you have not first gone through this video and learned how to muscle test. Muscle testing will save you money, and it will confirm that your body genuinely needs a supplement that I am recommending. It takes the guesswork out and it saves money. So who doesn't love the sound of that? It wasn't until I began utilizing muscle testing in my own journey that I truly began to see a lot of shifts. And I noticed that certain products, certain supplements, certain foods were resonating with my body. What I was muscle testing was resonating with my body, instead of me just constantly guessing and assuming that it's something that I needed. So, and also the first year that I began utilizing muscle testing, I saved thousands of dollars in supplements, because a lot of supplements that I thought I needed, I actually did not need. So with all of that being said, when you are muscle testing within that moment. Okay. So, I could recommend a supplement. Let's say I recommend chasteberry for hormone support. You could ask if you need it, or if that's something that you should purchase, and you get a yes. Okay, if that's something that you need for your body, you would list the brand, and I'm going to go through this. I'm going to go through examples so that you guys can actually see it, but you would list, okay, do I need the New Ethics Chasteberry supplement? Is this supplement in my highest benefit and top priority for me to purchase at this time? And if you get a yes, then that means that you will need it. Now, that does not mean that you will get a yes to taking it every day. That doesn't mean that you'll get a yes to taking it for 2 months straight. You might. There's no telling, because everyone's body is completely bio-individual. That's why I can't say, get this supplement, take it first thing in the morning every single day during our duration of our time working together, because at the end of the day, I truly do not know until, your body has confirmed it through muscle testing. So I just want to talk about the importance of that for a second. Before I go into demonstrating, I'm going to teach two different ways. I'm going to teach the sway method, and I'm going to teach the pendulum method, okay? I want to note that muscle testing, because whenever you pull out a pendulum, so here's my pendulum. I have a couple, but this is the one that I'm going to use for today's demonstration. Whenever you pull out a pendulum, people start to get they start to be like, oh, this is very woo-woo, or this is witchcraft, or they have all these preconceived notions about what it is. I even had somebody ask me one time, they're like, what's the difference between using a pendulum for yes and no questions versus a Ouija board? And the difference is that with a pendulum, you are tapping into your energetic field. We're not tapping into some random field outside of us. We're not tapping into a frequency outside of us. We're not tapping into anything like that. We are quite literally tapping into our energetic field, and every single one of us, every single thing in this world has an energetic field. But what we're doing for the purposes of this container, we are simply going to be tapping into our personal energetic field and asking our body, is this something that we need? Is this something that is in our highest benefit and top priority for us at this time? So I just wanted to make note of that so that you can understand, okay, like, who am I asking these questions? You're asking your body, you're asking yourself, you're asking your frequency and your energetic body. So with all of that being said, I want to talk a little bit before we go into me showing you. In this video, I'm going to teach the pendulum method, and then I'll create a separate video that's going to be much shorter than this one, just showing you how to utilize the sway method. I'm going to give all of the information on muscle testing in this video with the sway, or with the pendulum method, and then the next video will just literally be me showing you how to use the sway. So the top things to consider when you are going into muscle testing is that, number one, you do not want to do it when you have a pet laying on you, another person that is connected to you, a child that's wrapped around your leg or that you're holding on your hip. You don't want any other person's or animal's energetic field to be within your own, because it can affect the reading of the muscle testing reading. So please make sure that it is just you. You are by yourself. You want to make sure that you are as grounded as you can be. You don't want to feel super anxious in your body. Being grounded is important for really trusting the yes and no answers that you are getting. So I want you to think about that when you're doing it. And also, if someone is severely minerally depleted, it can take time to replenish minerals before we can get these answers to be correct, because minerals are what influences our frequency, our energetic field. If we are minerally depleted, answers can be mismatched. They can be incorrect. So all of us are depleted to some extent. All of us are minerally depleted to some extent. That's just life. That's part of life. Very few people are super healthy and have great mineral storages. So I just want you to take all of that into consideration. I have not ever came across a person who couldn't get correct answers because they were so minerally depleted, but I still wanted to bring that up. As long as you are replenishing your electrolytes, your minerals, the things that we're going to be talking about in this container, you will be totally fine. But I just wanted to mention that so that you understand the importance of being minerally having adequate mineral storages in order to properly muscle test and trust the answers that you're getting. So I'm sick, so you're gonna hear me stuffing my nose. But I was too excited to make this video to wait until I was completely better, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. But another thing that can affect muscle testing is EMFs, okay? EMFs, or electromagnetic frequencies, are what are coming from towers, Wi-Fi, our phones. Those are the primary locations that we're going to experience EMFs within our home, and EMFs are a literal frequency of their own, and if that frequency is coming into our frequency, it can mess up muscle testing. So when you are muscle testing, you don't want to be sitting next to a TV with a TV on. You don't want to be sitting next to a Wi-Fi router or in front of a computer. If you can help it, close the computer, turn the TV off, don't sit next to the Wi-Fi router. Do what you can to completely avoid those things, because it will throw off your reading. And then, last but not least, another thing that can throw off your yes and no answers are having your body crossed, whether that be crossed legs, crossing your arms in any way, when you're swaying, using your pendulum, any sort of crossing your body. You want everything to be uncrossed, legs uncrossed, flat on the floor, if your feet can touch the floor, but if not, just that you want everything hanging straight, and that will ensure that your answers are correct, okay? One of the things that I love about muscle testing is it does strengthen the trust that you have within your body, because you have to trust your body and your subconscious in order to utilize this tool in a way that it is beneficial for you. So this is something that will trust or strengthen the trust that you have within yourself and within your subconscious. So that's another reason that I absolutely love this tool. So if at first you find yourself questioning, not really knowing if it's something that is helping you, not really knowing if it's something that you are getting correct readings from, I encourage you to really sit with the idea that maybe there is some sort of disconnect with you trusting yourself and trusting that you have the ability to do something like this. And please let me know if you feel like that's something that is coming up for you, and we can work through that together, and we can see what we can do to help clear that out of your subconscious so that you feel confident in doing it. And sometimes it's not even this big grandiose thing that we need to do to clear mistrust that we have. A lot of times it's just simply doing it and simply telling ourselves that we believe it, even if we don't necessarily feel it in our body, because eventually our body will catch up. Eventually we will truly believe it. So I wanted to say all of this before I got into actually teaching you how to muscle test. So I encourage you, for things that you have with you, supplements that you have at your house already, products that you already have that you're not thinking about buying or thinking about investing in, I would encourage you, for things that you have on hand, to use the Sway, which will be in the next video. The Pendulum is what I'm about to teach you, and you can muscle test for a supplement when you don't even have it with you, okay? Because that is how frequency works. That frequency of that supplement can literally travel from where that supplement is to your body now, and you can ask your body if you need that supplement. And the pendulum, your body, via the pendulum, will tell you whether or not that is something that you need, okay? So when you're muscle testing for things that are online that you don't have on hand, I would encourage you to use the pendulum for muscle testing. And then whenever you are doing things that you have on hand, I would encourage you to use the Sway, because then you can hold it to your body when you're doing it, which I will show you in the next video. So with all of that being said, I'm going to go into teaching how to muscle test with a pendulum. And it's a lot simpler than you might realize that it is, okay? So this is a very long chain, and I don't like holding it this high up. This is a personal preference. You can hold it wherever you want to, and the results are going to still be accurate. But for me personally, I like to hold here, okay? And then I just like to tuck this extra bit into my hand. So I'm holding it here. You can kind of see, getting it out of the way. And what I'm going to do first is, some people like to just hold it perfectly still and get it to where it's still, and then ask a question, and then movement will take place. I personally like to give it a little bit of a swirl, okay? Very gentle, nothing crazy. And when you are muscle testing, you always want to calibrate your yes and no answers. That's like the first thing that we do always. You want to calibrate it. And also note how I have my thumb, my index finger, and my middle finger on here. You want all three fingers on the chain when you are muscle testing with the pendulum. And what you're going to do is, you're going to first say, body, please show me a yes, okay? So then you know what to look for when your body is telling you a yes. Everyone's yes and no's are different. Sometimes the pendulum will go in circles. Sometimes it will go back and forth, side to side, and that's what it does for me. So, okay, body, could you please show me a yes? And for me, it always goes like how a yes would go when you're nodding your head back and forth. So if I'm getting a yes, I'm getting back and forth like so. And then I say, okay, body, could you please show me a no? And as you can see, it's going side to side, how my head would go if I were to say no. And that is yes and no for me. Okay, so the first thing that's very important for you is to calibrate what is yes for me and what is no for me. Okay, this is one of the most common yes and no's for most people. But there are some people that get counterclockwise and clockwise for yes and no. And I would need to read up on that to remember which one is yes and which one is no. But it's more common for it to go front to back, side to side. So again, body, could you please show me a yes? Very simple. And you just wait, give it time. And you see how I kind of just gave it like a little, just I like moved it a little bit just to kind of give it a little bit of motion. And then again, there's my yes, front to back, front to back. Okay. And then again, body, could you please show me a no? Left to right. Perfect. And that would be my no. So then, once you have calibrated your yes and no's, I want you to always ask questions to ensure that you are tapped into your energetic field correctly. So for me, I'm going to ask the question. I already know the answer to this question, right? I'm going to ask the question, Do I have a tan, fuzzy pullover on? Okay. Do I have a tan, fuzzy pullover on? And you can see that it's a yes, which means that I am calibrated into my energetic field. And then I can ask another question regarding the top that I have on. Am I wearing a black pullover hoodie? Am I wearing a black pullover hoodie? Very quickly, I get a no. Very quickly. Okay? So then once you ask the questions that you already know the answer to, and you get the answers that you know to be correct, you are then safe to move into questions that you don't know the answer to, such as supplementation. Let's say that I'm interested in buying a supplement from Cellcore online, and I want to know if I need the bowel mover supplement. Okay, I don't have it on me right now, but I'm going to ask the question, body, do I need the Cellcore bowel mover supplement at this time? Would it be in my highest benefit and top priority to get the bowel mover supplement from Cellcore at this time? Give it a minute to make sure that it's fully calibrating. Oh, and there we have it. A yes. So that supplement would be something that would benefit me at this time. So that is how you use a pendulum for muscle testing. And something else that I wanted to touch on before I move on from this is, so let's say that you get your yes and no's, you calibrate, you know what your yeses are, you know what your no's are, and then you go in to ask questions about your top. And you know the color of your top. Let's say it's purple, but you ask if it's purple and you get a no. Okay, that tells you that your pendulum is not calibrated properly, that your energetic field, there's a mismatch or some sort of disconnect between your energetic field and your muscle testing tool. Okay, so what I encourage anybody to do that's getting yeses for no's, no's for yes, all yeses, all no's, is to go put your feet on the barefoot ground. Okay, barefoot on the ground. If you take your feet and put them barefoot on the ground, the frequency from the earth is going to clear any of those energetic blockages that are causing you to get mismatched answers. So I would say 15 to 20 minutes. If you come back after that, you will notice that the pendulum and your energetic field are connected appropriately, and you're getting the answers that you need to. So that is another tip that I wanted to give for anyone who may be trying to muscle test but getting answers that are not correct. So again, figure out what your yes and no is. It's different for everyone, or has the potential to be different for everyone. Ask a question or two that you know the answer to before you go into asking questions you don't know the answer to. And if for some reason you're not getting the correct answers for the answers that you know the answer to, put your feet on barefoot ground. That's something that I'm going to recommend within this container outside of muscle testing to begin with, but still, specifically when it comes to muscle testing, feet on barefoot ground will clear the energetic stagnancies that are causing the disconnection. So I think that that's everything that I had to say within this video. And of course, if you ever have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And if any of you are interested in where I got my pendulum or where to find a good pendulum, please feel free to hit me up. I love this one. It's the color of my, this is aquamarine, which symbolizes the March stone. I was born in March, so I absolutely love it. But if you have any additional questions about anything, please feel free to hit me up, and I will see you in the next video.